Welcome to the New Testament Closer Walk podcast from Walk Thru the Bible. This podcast is a daily adventure that will guide you on a life-changing journey through the New Testament in 1 year. Join us every day as we listen through the entire New Testament, along with a short devotional and thoughts from great Christian leaders of the past that will help bring the New Testament alive for you today. It's a closer walk with Jesus through God's Word. For more free resources, including a daily worship from the Heart text, go to walkthru.org/ntpod.
God's opinion is the only one that really matters. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. Hebrews 12:4. You are in a strange city, far from home, friends, and family, when suddenly you're tempted to do something wrong. Is your first thought, what would others think? Or is it, what would God think? God's opinion is the one that really matters, and it's never right to do wrong. But have you ever considered why you do what you do when faced with a temptation? It may not be for the best of reasons, as Abraham Kuyper makes painfully clear. Walk with Abraham Kuyper, a Dutch theologian who influenced his country for Christ in the 1800s to the 1900s. Not every resistance against sin can be called struggle against sin. Everything here hinges upon what it is that moves you to oppose this or that sin. One person will avoid a sin from concern for his health. Another is on his guard lest his sin became known. It would injure his good name. A third resists a temptation because yielding to it would ruin him financially. A fourth puts a mark against a particular sin because in his narrow circle of life it is sharply condemned. And in this way, and by all sorts of persons, this or that sin is put under the ban for reasons that have nothing to do with real striving against sin. With not a few, there is even no mention of a conscious motive, and all their opposition to this or that sin springs from a certain moral instinct, from the judgment of public opinion, or from a certain impulse to be decent. A certain sin may decrease, but far more because it is now looked upon as coarse and impolite than from fear of the holy God. Today's New Testament reading is Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 through 13.
Hebrews 12. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. And have you completely forgotten this word of encouragement that addresses you as a father addresses his son? It says, "My son, do not make light of the Lord's discipline, and do not lose heart when he rebukes you, because the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and he chastens everyone he accepts as his son." Endure hardship as discipline. God is treating you as his children. For what children are not disciplined by their father? If you are not disciplined, and everyone undergoes discipline, then you are not legitimate, not true sons and daughters at all. Moreover, we have all had human fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them for it. How much more should we submit to the Father of spirits and live? They disciplined us for a little while as they thought best, but God disciplines us for our good in order that we may share in his holiness. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Therefore, strengthen your feeble arms and weak knees. Make level paths for your feet, so that the lame may not be disabled, but rather healed.
Fear of people may keep you from certain sins, but fear of God will make you wary of all sin. The fear of God is more than an emotional response. It is an attitude of life that seeks to please Him in every action, both public and private, which is only fitting when you consider your calling. Be holy because I am holy. 1 Peter 1:16.
Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode as we take a closer walk through the New Testament in 1 year. For more free resources, including a daily worship from the heart text, go to walkthru.org/ntpod. That's walkthru.org/ntpod. Walk through the Bible. Take a walk, change the world.